Your life is just a hope. It is not a reality. It can be a reality. This neurosis that you call society, civilization, culture, education, this neurosis has a subtle structure. The structure is this. It gives you symbolic ideas so that reality by and by is clouded, becomes clouded. You can't see the real and you start becoming attached to the unreal. For example, society tells you to be ambitious. It helps you to become ambitious. Ambition means living in hope, living in the tomorrow. Ambition means today has to be sacrificed for tomorrow. Today is all there is. Now is the only time you are, the only time you ever will be. If you want to live, it is now or never. But society makes you ambitious. From childhood, when you go to school and you are taught ambition, you are poisoned. Grow rich, become powerful, become somebody. Nobody tells you that you already have the capacity to be happy. Everybody says that you can have the capacity to be happy only if you fulfill certain conditions. That you have enough money, a big house, a big car, and this and that, only then can you be happy. Happiness has nothing to do with these things. Happiness is not an achievement. It is your nature. Animals are happy without any money. They are not Rockefellers. And no Rockefeller is as happy as a deer or a dog. Animals have no political power. They are not prime ministers and presidents, but they are happy. The trees are happy. Otherwise they would have stopped blooming. They still bloom. The spring still comes. They still dance. They still sing. They still pour their being into the feet of the divine. Their prayer is continuous. Their worship never stops. And they don't go to any church. There is no need. God comes to them. In the wind, in the rain, and the sun, God comes to them. Only man is not happy because man lives in ambition and not in reality. Ambition is a trick. It is a trick to distract your mind. Symbolic life has been substituted for real life. Watch it in life. The mother cannot love the child as much as the child wants the mother to love him, because the mother is hung up in her head. Her life has not been one of fulfillment. Her love life has been a disaster. She has not been able to flower. She has lived in ambition. She has tried to control her man, possess him. She has been jealous. She has not been a loving woman. If she has not been a loving woman, how can she suddenly be loving to the child? Now, a child is born who is unwelcome. From the very beginning, the mother has been hesitating whether to have it or not to have it. There must be repercussions. The child must feel these tensions. When the mother would think to abort the child must have felt hurt. The child is part of the mother's body. Every vibe will reach the child. Or when the mother thinks and hesitates and is just in a limbo of what to do or what not to do, the child will also feel a trembling, shaking. He is hanging between death and life. Then somehow the child is born and the mother thinks it is just accidental. They had tried birth control. They had tried this and that and everything failed and the child is there. So one has to tolerate it. That tolerance is not love. The child misses love from the very beginning. And the mother also feels guilty because she is not giving as much love as there would have been naturally. So she starts substituting. She forces the child to eat too much. She cannot fill the child's soul with love. She tries to stuff his body with food. It is a substitute. You can go and see. Mothers are so obsessive. The child says, I am not hungry, and the mothers go on forcing. They have nothing to do with the child. They don't listen to the child. They are substituting. They cannot give love, so they give food. Then the child grows. They cannot love, so they give money. Money becomes a substitute for love. And the child also learns that money is more important than love. If you don't have love, nothing to be worried about, but you must have money. In life, he will become greedy. He will go after money like a maniac. He will not bother about love. He will say first things first. I should first have a big balance in the bank. I must have this much money. Only then can I afford love. Now love needs no money. You can love as you are. And if you think love needs money and you go after money, one day you may have money and then suddenly you will feel empty because all the years were wasted in accumulating money. And they are not only wasted, all those years were years of no love, so you have practiced no love. Now the money is there, but you don't know how to love. You have forgotten the very language of feeling, the language of love, the language of ecstasy. Yes, you can purchase a beautiful woman, but that is not love. You can purchase the most beautiful woman in the world, but that is not love. And she will be coming to you not because she loves you. She will be coming to you because of your bank balance. Money is a symbol. Power, political power, is a symbol. Respectability is a symbol. These are not realities. These are human projections. These are not objectives. They have no objectivity. They are not there. They are just dreams projected by a miserable mind. If you want to be ecstatic, you will have to drop out of the symbolic. To be freed of the symbolic is to be freed of the society. To be freed of the symbolic is to become an individual. To be freed of the symbolic, you have taken courage to enter into the real. And only the real is real. The symbolic is not real. What is ecstasy? Something to be achieved? No. Something that you have to earn? No. Something that you have to become? No. Oh, ecstasy is being, and becoming is misery. If you want to become something, you will be miserable. Becoming is the very root cause of misery. If you want to be ecstatic, then it is just now, here and now, this very moment. This very moment. Nobody is barring the path. You can be happy. Happiness is so obvious and so easy. It's your nature. You are already carrying it. Just give it a chance to flower, to bloom. And ecstasy is not of the head, remember. Ecstasy is of the heart. Ecstasy is not of thought. It is a feeling. And you have been deprived of feeling. You have been cut away from feeling. You don't know what feeling is. Even when you say, I feel, you only think you feel. When you say, I am feeling happy, watch, analyze, and you will find you think you are feeling happy. Even feeling has to pass through thinking. It has to pass through the censor of thinking. Only when thinking approves of it is it allowed. If thinking does not approve of it, it is thrown into the unconscious, into the basement of your being, and forgotten. You become more of the heart, less of the head. The head is just a part of you. The heart, in the sense I'm using the word, is your whole being. The heart is your totality. So whenever you are total in anything, you function from feeling. Whenever you are partial in anything, you function from the head. Watch a painter painting, and that is the difference between a real artist and a technician. If the painter is just a technician who knows the technique of how to paint, who has the know-how, who knows all about colors and the brushes and the canvas, and who has gone through the training, he will function through the head. He will be a technician. He will paint, but he will not be totally in it. Then watch a real artist who is not a technician. He will be absorbed in it, drunk. He will not only paint with his hand, and he will not only paint from his head, he will paint with his whole being. His guts will be involved in it, his feet as well, his blood and bones as well, his marrow. Everything will be involved in it. You can watch it, you can see, you can feel he is totally in it, lost. Nothing else exists. He is drunk. In that moment, he is no more. He is not a doer. The head is a doer. In that moment of total absorption, he is not a doer. He is just a passage, as if the whole is painting through him. When you come across a dancer, a real dancer, not one who is just a performer, then you will see that he is not dancing. No, something of the beyond is dancing in him. He is totally in it. Whenever you are totally into something, you are ecstatic. When you are partially into something, you will remain miserable, because a part will be moving separately from the whole. There will be a division, a split, attention, anxiety. If you love from the head, your love is not going to give any ecstatic experience. If you meditate from your head, I used to go to a river to swim, and I loved it. Whenever I came back from swimming, one of my neighbors always used to watch me, and he would see that I was very ecstatic. One day he asked, "What is happening?" "I always see you going to the river, and for hours you stay there and swim in the river. I am also coming along because you look so happy." I said, "Please don't come. You will miss the point, and the river will be very sad. No, don't come, because your very motivation will be a barrier. You can swim, but you will be watching for when that feeling of happiness is going to happen to you. It will never happen, because it happens only when you are not." Swimming can become a meditation. Running can become a meditation. Anything can become a meditation if you are not. Ecstasy is of the heart, is of the total. By heart is meant your total organic unity. And dance today, not tomorrow. Let the dance be here and now, and let it come from your totality. You abandon yourself, you become a drunkard. Yes, joy is mad, and only mad people can afford it. The ordinary sane person is so clever, so cunning, calculating, he cannot afford joy because you cannot control it. Just as I have said that a joyful person cannot be controlled by the society, let me say this also to you. You cannot control your joy, you cannot control your ecstasy. If you want to remain in control, you will never be joyful. Then you can only be miserable. Only misery can be controlled by the society or even by you. Many people come to me and they say they would like to get out of their miseries, but they are not ready to move into a state of uncontrol. They want to control joy too. They always want to remain in control. They always want to remain the master, the boss. That is not possible. The boss has to go. Joy can erupt in your being only when all control has been removed. Joy knows no control, it is wild. Ecstasy is wild, you cannot control it. You have to lose all control. You have to drop into it, into the very abyss of it, and it is a bottomless abyss. You go on dropping and dropping and dropping, and you never arrive at the bottom because there is no end to joy. It is a non-ending process, it is eternal. And it's so huge, how can you control it? The very idea is stupid. When you are madly dancing, madly singing, when you are joyful without any control, without your presence, and the joy is so full, overflowing, you are flooded with it and all control is abandoned. Then you will see a miracle. Death and life are dancing together because then all duality disappears. If you are divided, duality appears. If you are undivided, duality disappears. When you are split, the whole world is split. It is your own split that is projected onto the screen of the universe. When you are in a non-split state, integrated, one organic, orgasmic, then all duality disappears. Then life and death are not two, not opposites, but complementaries dancing with each other hand in hand. Then bad and good are not two, they are dancing with each other hand in hand. Then matter and consciousness are not two. This is what is happening inside you. The soul is dancing with the body. The body is dancing with the soul. They are not two, they are one, they are absolutely one. Manifestations of one. The body is nothing but visible soul, and the soul is nothing but invisible body.